you doing, and welcome back to another video on the channel. What we have for you today is our weekly video where we take a look at the 3 most transferred in FPL players this game week and the 3 most transferred out, and we talk about what we would do if we wanted them or if we owned them, whether that be on a free transfer or on a wildcard. If you are new to the channel, please do subscribe, like the video. Honestly, the support on recent videos has been awesome. Number of subscribers, comments on the videos, it's been great. So if you can help us continue that growth, it'd be really appreciated. Let's take a look at player number 1. So the first player on this list is Amad Diallo, and he's the most transferred in player in the whole of FPL this game week. Over 450,000 managers have brought him in, and I completely get it. He's on great form with 2 goals, 7 assists in recent game weeks as well. Man United's fixtures look really good. He was originally playing in that wing-back slot, which isn't the best place for someone who's listed as a midfielder. If he was a defender, that'd still be great, but now he's playing further up as part of the front 3, and he's getting really involved in the attack. A lot of people are taking out, players like Morgan Rogers, Semenyo, and dropping down to Amad Diallo as a Man United slot, and I think it's a great transfer. I think if you've not got him in, and you've not got someone like Bruno Fernandes, or another Man United player, or you've got a space in your midfield for that 4th or 5th slot, I think he's absolutely worth a shout to get him in, whether that's on a free transfer or on a wildcard. So the second player is Anthony Robinson, and he's someone who I've got in my own team at the moment. I've had him in all season, even through the tougher Fulham fixtures, and now the fixtures are really turning. Southampton, Ipswich, West Ham, Leicester, all in the next 6 game weeks. He's a great pick, especially if you're moving from someone like an Aït-Nouri, or you're looking to save some cash somewhere. At 4.8 million, it's brilliant. 6 assists so far this season. 2 of them were in the Liverpool game just gone, where they were away from home. And I'd just be aware that don't get him in as a knee-jerk sort of, oh, he's got 2 assists against Liverpool, he's going to do that against everybody. He's probably not going to do that against everybody, but he is a good price point, and he does get really far forwards in terms of a good budget defender. So I think get him in, but at 4.8 million, he's not the cheapest of cheap defenders anymore, so there are some other options. But I think in terms of value for money, he's really good. And you would hope that Fulham could keep some clean sheets in the next few game weeks as well as baseline points. And then if he does get another assist, that's just the icing on the cake. So the third player on this list, and the third most transferred in player this game week, is Alexander Isak. And I'm feeling pretty good right now because he's one of the other players I've already got in my team. I got him in a wildcard a couple of game weeks ago, so I've been a beneficiary of those goals and assists that he's been getting in recent game weeks. And at 8.7 million, he's pretty much the second most expensive striker with Ollie Watkins. So he does cost that bit extra. But if you're moving from someone like Haaland, he's a great pick because you'd probably rather have Alexander Isak and 6 mil, 7 mil, rather than having Haaland right now. So I think he's brilliant. I think he's someone that you should be getting in. I don't think you've missed the boat in terms of Newcastle's good fixtures, because even the Villa, Man United and Spurs games, they're pretty good from an attacking point of view. And we always say good form makes bad fixtures easier. He's got Ipswich this game week. You would expect him to play well there. And then Aston Villa aren't in the best form either, and Spurs have a lot of defensive troubles, and then the fixtures get good again. So if you were wanting to get him in and you're thinking, he's risen in price, or I've missed some attacking returns, don't let that put you off, because if he'd been 8.7 million at the start of the season and he hadn't risen in price, would you want him? If you can still afford him, get him. The only reason you need to worry about price changes is when you literally can't afford getting a player in. So if you can afford him, I think he's a great transfer this game week. So the first player on our most sold list is Aït-Nouri from Wolves, and I get it because he's now suspended for a game week and he misses that Leicester game, and then after that you just think from a defensive point of view those are some horrendous fixtures really. Man United, Spurs, even Nottingham Forest, they're having a great season. Newcastle and Chelsea both away, and then the home games are Villa and Arsenal, and then you've got Liverpool away. So how many clean sheets would you think he's going to keep in that anyway, considering they've only kept 1 so far this season? So a lot of people, they're swapping Aït-Nouri to Robinson. I think that's an absolutely fantastic transfer that makes total sense, and I'm not here to talk you out of it. I think if you do own him, it is the right time to sell him. He's probably going to drop in price as well before the deadline, so I would make that transfer sooner rather than later and just save yourself the headache of getting 0 points for the next, 10 game weeks. So the second player on our most transferred out list is Erling Haaland. He's back again. He's still 14.9 million. At some point you're thinking, maybe he'll drop and he'll look good value. But I don't think that's going to happen. You could make the argument that Man City have some good fixtures coming up. I just don't think it's worth it. I think if you own him now, maybe you keep him. Kind of depends what you're going to do with the money. But like we said, Alexander Isak plus some cash in the bank looks a much better option right now. Even a game like Everton and Brentford away, they're tough fixtures, really. I think Everton have playing better defensively, and Brentford at home have the best record in the league. So it really depends on whether you want to just risk it for those Christmas fixtures and just go for it, and then possibly sell him, with Chelsea at home, those fixtures, because I think he is still quite expensive, but he's very unlikely to drop loads more in price. He's only 37.8% owned, which is really low ownership. So if you look at it in the sense of a lot of those managers who own him right now are probably not engaged in FPL anymore. They maybe made a team at the start of the season and got Haaland in, and then they've left it. So in terms of active managers, it's probably even less than 37.8%, which means he could potentially be a differential. So if you have held on to him for this long, maybe there is some mileage in keeping him a little bit longer, but I also don't blame you at all if you wanted to sell him if you're finally fed up of it. So the third player on this list is Morgan Rogers, and he is the perfect transfer out at the moment for a player like Ahmad or Enzo Fernandez, right? Villa's fixtures are looking a little bit better coming up, but they're just not clicking, and they're just not in loads of form, and 4 goals and 2 assists, if you compare that to Enzo Fernandez's output and Amad Diallo's output in recent game weeks, it's just not a lot of attacking returns in 16 game weeks. So I completely understand it's such an easy switch to one of those other 2 players, and I think you make that transfer even with these fixtures coming up. You've kind of got to go for form at the moment because it's the Christmas schedule and fixtures come thick and fast. You don't really have the time to stick with players who aren't in form, because if someone is raring to go, like an Amad Diallo or an Enzo, you sort of jump on that hot streak and you get multiple FPL game weeks in such a shorter space of time than you would do. So that form really is magnified, and the same goes for players who aren't in form as well. So this is the time of the year where you do need to make that jump for players who are in form a bit more often and a bit quicker than you would do otherwise. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you've got any transfer questions in the comments as well, because we will always get back to you. Go check out our wildcard video and our preview video for Game Week 17. Like I say, fantastic engagement on those videos, and it is honestly really appreciated. So if we can keep that going in this one, that would be awesome as well. And good luck in this game week. Hopefully you've had a good Game Week 16, and I will see you in the next one.